Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Q&A session with filmmaker Pushpendra Singh. Pushpendra Singh's latest film, Laila or Sadgit, is being screened in the Indian Cinema Now section of 25th International Film Festival. Uh, Pushpendra, warm welcome to the session, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for
Thank you.
agreeing to join online. And he will also be joining us with the festival in Kochi and Talasheri. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And Pushpendra Singh is a renowned Indian filmmaker, currently based out of Pune. He's an alumnus of Film and Television Institute of India, Pune. His works have been showcased at Berlinale and Busan International Film Festivals, to name a few. And his works, notable works are Lajvanti, Ashwathama, etc. Um, it's a pleasure to have you here. And Pushpendra is in conversation with Mr. Sunny Joseph, cinematographer, filmmaker, and film academic. Film. Uh, he's one of the. I mean, he's one of the indispensable part of Indian parallel film movement. Uh, he's also an alumnus of FTII, and now currently he's the head of academics at the KR Narayanan Film Institute in Kottayam, Kerala. He's also the general council member of Kerala State Chalachitra Academy, and he also served in the selection committee of the film festival, 25th edition of the film festival. Sunny sir, warm welcome to the session, and thank you for joining, and handing over the session to you, sir. Thank you.
A warm welcome, Pushpendra, and it is my great pleasure to be talking to you because when I saw your film in the selection process, the very first time my heart was filled with joy to see such a wonderful film, and thanks for that, for your creation.
No,
And,
thank you for inviting the film and doing the Q&A, sir. I'm honored. Yes.
And I was very enthralled by the images and the way you were telling the story. I know that you are deeply into the folk traditions and folk tales of the regions, and make such a strong political film using a folk tale and to bring out a very contemporary subject within the film is a wonderful achievement. Can you just shall we begin with your beginning? I know that like great Mani Kaul, you also wanted to become an actor, and then you have joined the institute, and after your foundation course, you started your love towards directing. We would like to hear about that.
Yeah. I joined FTI in the acting course, but it was this common course for 6 months, foundation course, which intrigued me towards filmmaking. And for our diploma film, we had invited Amit Datta, who directed our feature film. And then during the post-production of that film, Amit decided to stay back in Himachal. And then, so he requested me to handle everything. So there was a great learning experience for me. And since then, I decided that, I'll also start directing films. So, yeah, so I assisted Amit Datta and Anup Singh on their films later on. And then I started making my own films. Yeah, so that was my journey. Yes.
I would like to, bring in your experience. Somewhere you said in one interview that after institute, you started solo performances using a video camera, and that experience also led to this decision. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, because when I went to Bombay, I realized that as an actor, you're dependent on others. You're dependent on the casting director. You're like chasing directors, and I felt it very humiliating for myself, that whole experience. And I realized that the whole industry actually thrives on mediocrity a lot. you talk to casting directors, you talk to directors, and you realize that it's thriving on that. So then I decided, why shouldn't I do something on it? So initially I thought, let me do a play. So I was talking to my batchmates, to my friends, but in Bombay, because everyone needs to work, so that wasn't possible. So then I decided that let me do some solo performance, and why not use the medium of the video. So yeah, then I started doing storytelling video performance, and so it started traveling, and Gurpal invited it to Sonapani Film Festival, and that encouraged me a lot. And then I started reading those stories to further do solo performances, and then I came across Vijay Dandeta, and then reading his stories, I found them very cinematic, full of imagery and that poetic quality. I thought, it's best translate to cinema rather than a solo performance, So then I went ahead and I met Vijay Dandeta, and so he gave me the rights of Lajwanti initially. So I made that film first. And this is Leela or Sadgit is also an adaptation of his short story. But he had given the rights to someone else. So later on, then I thought maybe I'll do an adaptation and take rights. By then he had passed away, so I took rights from his son. So,
yeah, you were talking about this. I know that you were very much deep into the literary world, and also to somewhere I read that Bhakti movement. You are part of it. And, you were talking like Kabir and the
exactly
poet in Kashmir, Lal Dev.
Lal Dev. Yeah.
So can you say something?
Yeah, of course, yes. Because in Bombay, no, actually it started in FTA itself. Shabnam Virmani had come and she had screened this. She had made 4 features and she had started the Kabir project. So, I was, because I'm into literary traditions and, one have read Kabir also. And FTI, parallelly, there was this whole tradition of many students are into spirituality, and they had invited Prahlad Singh Tipania also at FTI twice. So, I was attracted to it, and I thought, because, what the country is going through a lot, communalism, communal differences, and I could see that in my village and across the north, especially, So I always thought that, the solution lies in Kabir and all those poets, actually, who also dealt with the same issues at that time, and they spoke about it, So then I started following the Kabir festival, attending it, and so I came across, Lal Ded and other poetesses and poets also. So so when I decided to adapt this film, the story Kenchuli by Vijay Dandeta, so one of the reasons was also because I thought the ending reminded me of Lal Ded a lot, so I set it up in Kashmir. That's why,
Yeah, this coming back to Laila, in one of the somewhere in the conversation of the characters, it said that isn't there anything permanent? No good, no truth, no peace.
Yes.
Eventually, the film is searching for that.
Yes,
a
exactly.
kind of harmonious existence. In
Yeah.
your short taking also, I see that in very rarely you see that a kind of in a very good Osuvian way. I am telling.
Yes.
Is the characters and the whole nature, everything is holistically one.
Yeah, one.
I found it very,
exactly.
very, very happy to observe that throughout the film, and and how could one of the strong theme in the film is feminist thoughts. How do you see the character Laila in that context?
Actually, Vijay Dandeta had written all this, in the folk tale itself. Yeah. So I didn't have to do much, I just adapted it, and what I did was I changed those uh, elements like, the feudal lord, the middleman, etc. Because to Kashmir, because in Kashmir, I thought that, security forces are the new feudal lords, and the local security, the local police, the forest security guards, they are the middlemen, and also this whole idea of the Indian state and the local state and the real people on ground, So this whole, yeah, I just did that, I just adapted that. Otherwise, all the feminist ideas are by Vijay Dandita. He was a Marxist, a visionary who wrote this story in late 60s, ahead of its times.
So, when also your political, strong political affinities are visible in the film.
Yeah,
And no, and this is something which will be interesting. I also feel that materialism and spirituality can go together harmoniously.
yes, yes.
This is also that is there. That is one of the search in the film. Can it
Yeah,
go?
yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly, because when I was traveling in Kashmir and I was doing my research also, I realized that religion is a very big factor. So you see, Jammu is like Hindu dominated, and it's Hindu sentiments are like very powerful there. And if you go to the Kashmir Valley, Islamic sentiments are very high, and if you look at the Kashmiri past, actually, it's the spiritual Sufi traditions and the Shaivite traditions which held the valley really together. So this thought is coming to me that you cannot separate that from the people, and you can bring them together through those traditions, and find a middle ground. Uh, and so because people are like really emotionally attached, and you can only counter that by an ideology which they can understand better and which speaks to them. So I think Sufism and spiritual traditions actually are the middle ground in that way. Yeah.
I know long sometime back I was reading the great Japanese monk, a small poem by Japanese monk Ikkyu,
Yeah.
and he 4 lines he says the poem is only this. He says the root cause for all illness of this nation is in the accumulated wealth of the few. This is 800 years before Karl Marx.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
How can a spiritual master like a Q talk
Yeah.
about Das Capital? You know,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
it is it is possible, I think.
Yeah. Of
And
course. Yes. Especially in a country like ours, actually. Yeah. That's the way out, I think. Yeah. That's the way you can counter communalism.
yes,
And
and
speak to a large majority. Yeah.
and coming back to the the mise en scene of your
Yeah.
film,
Yeah.
there is this very measured, peaceful camera movements and
Yeah.
little tilt-ups and
Yeah. Yeah.
pannings, and which is giving a kind of tranquility actually.
Yeah.
And I have seen only twice you are breaking out of that.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
was the slow motion of the trimming of the fur from the
Yeah.
sheep,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
was a slow motion shot I saw.
Exactly. Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
when after the that slapping of the police
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
they are walking back.
Yeah.
Then
The
you
handheld
see
shot. Yeah.
a handheld shot.
Yeah.
Uh, it was, of course, it is, it makes it, underlined in these
Mm-hmm.
two elements.
Yeah.
And there are, many images come to my mind when the tree is on fire
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the skin, snake skin against the
The
sun,
sun. Yes. Yes.
and and many such images. And your cinematographer Ranbir Das,
Yes.
Ranbir
Yes.
Das,
Ranabir Das. Yes.
he has done a wonderful job, and
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And he has been, I think he could very well understand your script, and it's good that a cinematographer can
Yeah, we spent
so
quite a lot of
closely.
time. Yeah, him and the production designer. He was also a fresh graduate from the Film Institute. So and then my chief assistant director, he was also from the institute. So we spent a lot of time doing the tech Reiki, and then I had actually spent much more time. I had gone earlier there into the spaces. So then I let them also wander into the spaces, and then we would discuss ideas, principles. So yeah, it really became very easy then, and they were also very supportive, and of course my references were a lot of paintings also, and Ranveer is also into paintings, and he would exchange paintings with me, and then we would discuss. Yeah, and it was very difficult because we were making it in a very tight and low budget. Uh, but yeah, the spirit actually, yeah, they managed it. Yeah, yeah.
And let me come into a little bit of technological aspect of the making.
Yes.
How did it help that it is, you shot in digital, I
Yes.
suppose. It looks very, analog,
Yeah.
film-like,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
because there are great exposures by Ranbir.
Yes.
But
Yes.
how do you feel working with digital?
Yeah, because I started with digital with my first film itself. So I feel that it has democratized filmmaking a lot, and it has a huge possibility, and it depends on how one wants to use it. So yeah, but in this film, because it was a fable, I wanted that quality of a fable. It's like an analog feeling also, and digital gives you that option to achieve that also. So
If I
yeah.
may ask, which camera you used?
We used the red. Uh, uh,
Red.
yeah, yeah. And then in one schedule when they are migrating, because it was more documentary style. So then we used Panasonic EVA 1.
Yeah, you were. This film is also about migration and the
Yes,
identity issues of
yes,
where one
yes.
belongs. That I just
Yeah,
wanted to bring that element also.
yes,
And
yes.
when at the police station, when the village elders are talking with the policeman, they are
Yeah,
asking for the Aadhaar cards to be made, or
yes,
all
yes,
kind of
yes.
issues. And this was during, probably you were scripting during that upheaval in the Kashmir,
Yes, yes. Yeah,
elsewhere also, Article 35.
yes,
So
yes.
how you could, it is very organically woven into the story, and I
Yes,
was,
yes, yes.
amazed by
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because I'm very politically aware. I read a lot, and I follow politics a lot, and so one could see these issues coming up, especially this whole cow politics. Uh, you know, so and I because I also belong to the Gujar community actually, which are into cow herding, and they are like a sister tribe, the Bakarwals. And I was reading that, but I'm Hindu and they are Muslims. So, but still, I was reading that even Hindus actually, who deal with cattle, they were facing problems in the north. And then I was fascinated. I thought, let me study about what's happening in J&K, and then I realized it was happening there also. So then I thought, yeah, it's good to bring that into the script itself. And then while doing my research on my Reiki, I realized that on the ground, people were really afraid that Article 35A would be removed. Uh, and once on our tech Reiki, the police did not allow us also to go to the valley. They did not allow us to cross the Jawahar Tunnel because people were protesting against, the fear of removal of Article 35A. So yeah, so then I thought, let me weave this also into the story. So yeah, yeah.
And of course, I know that you did spend a lot of time doing the research and also moving with the local
Bakarwals.
people,
Yeah, yeah,
Bakarwals,
yeah.
and gaining their trust. And probably otherwise, another interview I heard that
Yeah.
most of your film you used local people.
Yeah,
And
it's them, except the actress. Everyone is Bakarwals are real Bakarwals, and they are real people. I've shot in their tents, in their house. So
the husband, actor who did the husband and the Mushtaq character. Uh,
yeah, husband is also a Bakarwali singer, so he's also from the community. And the policeman also is from Srinagar. He's an actor actually based there, but he's from Srinagar. So yeah.
that Mushtaq our character was quite interesting, slightly, it can be, you can't say comical, but,
Yeah.
there is a fun element in that
Yeah,
character
humor. Yeah, yeah.
and a bit of feminine
Yeah.
ness also in,
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
so that he also suited the role very well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All of them, all of them.
Yeah, because I did not want, because sometimes when you see that, characters are written in certain way, then they can become very black shaded. So, very stereotypical. So when I was looking for actors, he called me and I heard his voice, and there was this gentle quality in his voice, there was this kindness. So it was like a Bressonian casting. I immediately decided that I have to cast him. And
Okay.
then I told him that you have to act, man. You are there in my film. You have to come. So yeah, and then he agreed. Yeah, yeah.
In your thanks card, I read Makmal Buff's name. You know,
Yes, yes, yes.
what was the connection? I think it is in terms of the history of cinema, or
No, it's because he helped us in because music is a very big element in my film, and I wanted this quality of music also traveling across borders. This whole idea of nomadism. So we've used a tar player, a sitar player. So a sitar, Iranian sitar player we found in Pune itself. So he came and recorded, but we were unable to find a tar player. So then, my last film, which was a hybrid documentary, was in the IDFA main competition, and Maqbal Baf was the head of the jury. So I'd met him there, and he gave me his films and his email. So my music director was worried, and the film was invited to Berlin. There was a very short time to compose the music, and he said, "Man, I can't find a tar player. I've written to many people, but no one is responding." So then I said, "Let me write it to Maqbal Maaf, And in the night I wrote to Maqbal Maaf, and in the morning when I woke up, he had connected me to a tar player. So and that
very,
player,
very nice.
yeah, like in a few hours, like he gave his number, he connected, he introduced us, and then he helped us. Yeah.
Incidentally, coming to the music, that is one point I wanted to discuss, because this film, Laila and Seven Songs,
Yeah.
the use of music is how it should be in films.
Yeah.
Not explanatory, but evocative of
Yeah.
certain scene elements, and it was
Yeah.
very well done. That is
Yeah.
also, and the name, I couldn't read it fully. Chandavarkar, is it Bhaskarji related to Bhaskarji, Bhaskar Chandavarkar?
No, I also thought he's related, but he's not.
Chandavarkar name.
Yeah,
It's
Naren Chandavarkar.
nice. Suddenly I remembered Bhaskarji's glasses and all that.
Yeah, even I also thought, earlier that maybe he's related. Yeah.
And what do you think of cinema's role in human life?
Uh, Nowadays we can see that it has a huge role. Because this whole idea of images. So I think it starts from our cave life when we were there in the caves. People used to draw. So it has continued. And then this whole aspect of sound, because we cannot subtract sound from cinema. So the way we've evolved actually, so sound also plays a huge role as human beings. How it shapes ideas, how it shapes our thoughts, and of course I feel because it's also like it's an evolved art form, because it combines many art forms. So for me, my experience, it gives me peace. It relaxes me. It calms me down. It agitates me. It takes me through a sea of emotions, and it does to all humans actually. So I think it's got a very important role to play in the society itself.
And you are how in that sense, can cinema be a tool for change? Will it help?
That I don't know. It can be a tool for change or not. Yeah, because that's debatable. Because we've seen that, it does. It of course has become part of propaganda, and we can see from our own industry itself, how it's playing to that propaganda, and films are being made, and so of course I think one has to resist that also by making films. If we are artists, so we can only fight through countering that propaganda. Yeah.
And I think cinema has one of the preeminent role as a subversive art.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
we have to fight. We have to fight.
Yeah, exactly. Your film Piravi is such a role model, in that sense. Yeah.
I would also like you to talk a bit about your, the film's documentary aspect or docufictions which you did. Especially in the Rajasthan and
Yeah, no, it's in all my films. This element is there. So if my fiction people find it more closer to documentary, and my documentary say it's very close to fiction, because that's the line. Also because I think I'm an actor who's very fascinated by this whole idea of realism itself, and what is realism? I keep asking myself, and then delving into space actually helps you a lot. And like Herzog says, for me, what matters is truth. There's this higher truth. Instead of getting stuck in this idea of realism, one should strive for the higher truth. So I'm trying to do that even in my documentary. I've done one film, so it's like a hybrid film.
All of the Desert.
All of the Desert, yes. So where most of the film is staged based on the life of the Manganiyars, but because I wanted to actually highlight the musical traditions of the community, also in an artistic way. So that's why I thought maybe, because a lot of films have been made. When I met the Manganiyars, they started showing me some Korean documentaries, some French documentaries, and you can see this outsider gaze, and highlighting the poverty and all those aspects. And then I was really uncomfortable with that, and I thought, okay, let me counter this. And as a filmmaker, you have many devices to do that. So yeah, I started doing that slowly and slowly. Then it became a dialogue with the community itself. So I shot it over 5 years, and then I would come and edit, and then a new idea would come, and then I would go there and we would shoot and then come back again. So it was a fruitful experience for me as a filmmaker.
Thank you, Pushpendra. And this was a wonderful conversation with you. And I will be waiting for your next film.
Yes.
And first man to see it.
Thank you, sir. I also look forward to spending more time with you.